What's going on, YouTube? It's EK here, and today we finally have Warzone Season 4 with the patch notes, so we're going to go through it together. I don't know if this is going to bring people back. I don't even know if it's going to bring me back. I've been on and off Warzone for this whole Season 3. Like, it's just been such lukewarm feeling of Season 3. Like, ever since the mid-season update, you know, the meta is kind of boring, but we'll see if they tweak some weapons and it might be more fun now. The biggest thing is, of course, that Urzikstan is now 120 players instead of 100. So, but I mean, that could be a good thing, but with SBMM the way it is, that just means 20 more sweats potentially in the lobby instead of, you know, just 100 people, right? So I don't know how this is gonna really work. I think they really need to take a page out of from X Defiant where there's no SBMM at all, and just to see what it's like. I feel like they should just test that, you know, just to see what's going on, like in terms of SBMM. Like, you know, they should just have like a test server, like the way they kind of sometimes already I think for one season they had those like experimental like game mode where it's like, oh, in this one we put all like the experimental stuff that we may want to put in the game, and just to see how it plays. Like, why don't you make one for that, or no SBMM at all? Like, sure, you have to arrange for like location so that, you know, the servers don't get bogged down, ping rate, in terms like, you know, all that stuff, but like but overall, outside of like geolocation and overall, like, you know, quality of the game, like I feel like skills, like, you know, in terms of win KD, that's just should be removed, or at least like you know, the effectiveness, or like how heavily those factors play into selecting game should be dialed down to like 1, instead of what seems to be dialed to like 11 right now. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's go on and see what's in the patch notes. I'll link it below, as usual, so that everyone else can go read it for themselves. I'm not going to go through everything, but I am going to go through a lot of it to see what has been changed for everybody. So let's just get through it. Okay, I can't even enlarge this. I don't know why they don't let us enlarge this sucker. Like the weirdest non-thing ever. Even Battle Pass can't enlarge that either. Anyways, all right. So, performance address various issues causing improper first-person animation. Okay. Bunch of random stuff here for customizing. Okay, so they just like fixed a bunch of errors and other things. That's kind of cool. Okay, yep, like I mentioned earlier. Try to zoom in a little, so a little easier for you folks. Okay, so again, player count up to 120 from 100, 20% increase. That's great. Let's see. Okay, so initially, you know, they just this just explains the reasoning for this stuff, and there's like a summary, like an abstract for the rest of this whole thing. Gulag tokens have low chance of in loot. Okay, so that just basically explains a bunch of stuff in case you don't want to go through everything. All right, now we have bunkers. Unlock bunkers now have an escape hatch that has an alternative exit. New rewards have been added to various locations. That's kind of cool. You know, so the bunkers have a little bit more, have like 2 ways in or out, or 1 way in, 1 way out type of scenario. That's kind of, that's not bad. Gulag, 4 new Gulag layouts have been added. Hey, stacked weapon equipment and L-shaped plywood walls with an S-shaped central wall over the circular floor gate. Okay. 3 panel. I'm not gonna go through. But basically, we have 4 different Gulags now, which is kind of cool. Like, you know, you mix it up a little bit. I appreciate that. Returning Urzikstan Battle Royale. Oh, Buyback Royale. You know, so that's back for solos. So as long as you have 450, you will. It's basically like a resurgence, so that's cool. That's fun, but it's only for solos, which is All right, the first week's playlist for today and moving forward. Buyback solos, ranked trios, again only rebirth. Why? I don't know. I still don't understand why they don't have ranked for it. Mind-boggling. Plunder, normal BR, duos, trios, quads, resurgence, map rotation for all 4 modes, and remember, there's no more Ashika Island, which I really liked. You know, like I didn't mind it. Like I thought it was a good map, a decent map. Anyways, rewards I really don't care about. Just these are the more for stuff that people that play heavily in complete contracts get stuff for it, whatever. Gameplay. All right. Champions Quest. Okay, if someone is doing the nuke, and if you kill them, you can basically pick it up. Let's see. Okay, infiltrating any one of the bunkers to obtain, you can get tac sprint boots to give you increase to your base speed and infinite tactical sprint improvement. What? It does not drop on death. If you kill someone, you can't pick up their boots, and it can be found one of them in each bunker and does not reduce fall damage. So if you get this, if you're the first to the scene and you pick this up, you basically get a boost to your base speed and infinite tac sprint, or just infinite tac sprint improvement. Like I don't like. What does that mean? Okay, I'm assuming it just means infinite tac sprint, which is insane. But why would you? Well, okay, specialist perk pack. So perk packs obviously grants you every single perk there is. Wow. It doesn't say if you can pick it up if someone dies, or if you kill someone that has it, but you can buy it for 30k. That'll be interesting. I don't know if that's a good idea, but that's interesting. Bunkbuster. I feel like I've only used this or seen this like a handful of times on like Fortune's Keep. I haven't really seen this since then, but it looks like it's now gonna be more available, I guess. Or what is it? Special type missile, blah blah blah. Okay. The vertical. Yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't even know where this sucker went. Like where'd it go? I don't understand. Utility box comes ammo and armor. Okay, that's kind of cool. So you get both at the same time. And then loot hot zones. Okay, designate points of interest on the map that identify as loot hot zones. They do not appear on the TAC map. Rather, they must be discovered. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Like, so now there's certain areas that just have more stuff. Okay, that's not bad. Runaway train public event. Each battle royale have a 10% chance of ending a runaway train public event during the same end game event that was safe. But the safe zone will be the train. Oh shoot. The drivable controls are disabled, making players strategically work to gain control of the train. What the freak? Okay, this should not be a public event. This should only be like a fun mode, right? Where it can happen, but it may not always happen. This should just be like a runaway train mode, not a 10% chance of happening on any given like BR, like normal BR map like that. I don't know why they keep putting these things in just normal stuff. I mean, this is going to be, I mean, it sounds kind of interesting and honestly sounds kind of fun, but it also should not just be like in the normal mode. That's just me. There's a new vehicle, whatever. Like, I don't know what this really, tighter turning circle and handling, better acceleration. Okay. You should just make it everything as good as the Hummer, because apparently, you know, GMC is like sponsors. Anyways, okay, ground loot, everything has been redone. I don't know why they don't update ground loot more often. They should update it, honestly. All right. Choking. Okay. Okay, oh yeah, ground loot, so they're updating that. Everything got unturned. They really need to update this like every single like few weeks. Sorry, guys. Oh man. Ooh. All right. Yeah, they need to update this like at least bare minimum at mid-season update. Bare minimum. But they don't, because I feel like for the last pretty much all the seasons, they don't really update the ground loot at all, unless like there's something broken on the ground. Let's see. Gas Mask Quality of Life now has a manual, automatic, and semi-automatic setting. Okay. Yeah, so now you can basically do like a manual. I guess now in the settings you can do something where it's like you can manually control it, just set it to automatically control it, or semi-auto. What does that mean? Like it'll auto put on, but it'll never auto remove or something like that. Or maybe like it'll do something where it's like, oh, it'll auto remove in a certain situation. I don't know. A new key button has been added to allow for manual behavior. Okay, that's cool. For keyboard users. Maybe for controller users too. Buy station quality life. Purchase weapons will now drop behind the player to make them easier to distinguish from nearby loot. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay, other things in normal BR, initial circle. The delay time from the initial circles begins to shrink has been increased to 2 minutes. This change will give a bit more time for players to find bunkers and adjust to pacing to fit 120 players. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I guess, I don't know, 1 minute is, maybe 1 minute 30 is a better thing, because, you know, if the circle shrinks quicker, it just, you know, makes the gameplay that much faster, right? Which, I mean, yeah, you can, I feel like that's a good thing when you eliminate a ton of players in the beginning, you know, and I mean, it might suck for a lot of people, but it might be good for a lot of people too. Like you just have like really fast gameplay in the beginning, you know, eliminate maybe a quarter of the lobby, and then the rest of it, as you keep shrinking down, you know, you just encourage a bit more craziness. But also, if it's too fast, then you know you have like really good players just being able to loot like crazy, get their loadouts, and then just eliminate like a ton of people before some people can even get off the ground. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Redeployment weapons. Players will now respawn from Gulag with updated primary and secondary weapons. Okay. The Gulag loadouts have been changed. Good. Okay. T4 has been completely removed from Gulag loadouts. Okay. Loot updates. Okay, so loot has received a general balance. Many items had their rarity adjusted. Okay. Whoa. The overall acquisition rate of cash via ground loot and supply boxes has been reduced by 50%. I'm sorry, but this is a terrible choice. What the F is it? I don't know where they think this is a good idea. We have 120 players now, so you make sure that there's less than or half as much money. That means 20% more players have to loot for less money. You know how crazy this is gonna be? Like, it's gonna take, I mean, thank God, like, you know, no wonder they doubled the first circle from 2 minutes. It's because it's gonna take forever, twice as long to get ground loot money. Like, this is insane. Like, I don't, like, they should not have reduced it by 50%. Maybe 25%, that's okay, but 50 is just absolutely insanity. I don't know. And the density of ground loot has been reduced by 15%. So not only will you find less money because there's just less of it, but there's just less stuff in general. So I don't know. Supply boxes. Okay, frequency has been increased by 20. Okay, fine. At least there's more more boxes in general. Okay, so basic boxes have been reduced by 9%, and they increased reusable or legendary by 5%. Okay, that's okay. Okay, anyways, keep going. Gulag tokens. Okay, very low chance in general loot guaranteed for most wanted. Limited inventory at buy station. Okay, that's good. Redeploy pack doesn't spawn in general loot. Okay, low chance as reward for most wanted. Okay. Redeploy flares, low chance in legendary loot chests, lower chance where support items can spawn, such as medical cabinets. Okay, so they basically are severely reducing how people could come back. I think this is one of the main problems right now with BR, is that people have way too many different ways of coming back. You know, even at the end of Warzone 1, all you had, I mean, you had most of this stuff except minus redeploy flares. You had at least these two, but it was still not too bad in terms of how people can come back. But like with all these crap, like just, you know, people, it was so rare to find like smaller groups towards the end of the game. Everyone almost had at least half of their team, if not more. I mean, there's not a whole lot of players, but you know what I mean? Like it was always like a bigger group, and if you were ever like a 1v3 or something, it was game. Anyway, okay, durable mass. The following legendary items are now exclusive to certain locations: durable mass, bunker chests, and intel contract. Okay, so you may not. So I don't think you can find them now. That's a bummer. Redeploy pack. Okay, black site and most wanted. Foresight bunker chest. Specialist perk pack buy station. Okay, that's kind of cool. Let's see. Inventory update. Okay, so there's a lot here. I'm not gonna go through everything. So you can just either pause and read it, or you know, whatever. Go for it. EA 6K. Okay, utility. Keto drones. Oh, okay. Bunker busters are 4K. Okay. Rebirth Island Resurgence. Last game circles. Circles may now end in a wider variety of locations than before. Okay. New weapons. All right. So we have a few new weapons. The Superi or the Super Eye. Superi 4.6. It's a submachine gun. Cool. The Car 98 is back. I think this is probably one of the biggest things that people were looking for. Car 98 was a fan favorite in Warzone 1. So now this is back. I think this is probably just means it's going to be Sniper City moving forward with the Car 98, assuming it behaves exactly the same as Warzone 1. New aftermarket parts. Again, I'm not going to go through all this, but it looks like they have a few things for the M4, the Basilisk handgun, the inhibitor. We'll see which one of these breaks these guns, but hopefully none of them. But you never know. So yeah, a bunch of aftermarket parts for. Okay, now the stuff that I really care about: weapon adjustment. Let's see what happens. So BP50. All right, with the ARs, decrease movement, decrease that, decrease. Okay, so basically they nerf almost the hell out of the BP50. Most of it's movement, so the damage. Most of it is the damage hasn't changed, but you're no longer as quick with this gun as previously. So maybe not terrible nerf, but it is a nerf nonetheless. The Bal 27 near mid damage increased from 49 meters to up to 49 meters from 39 meters. That's a big bump. That's 25%. And mid damage range increased 60 to 60 meters. Lower arm and hand modifiers plus 10%. Okay, so that's they buffed the Bal 27. So this is not crazy buff, but good enough buff that you can hit farther at higher damage, basically, or at the same damage. Okay, so that's not bad. The Holger 5.56, another buff, but not crazy high, just a slight buff with the Holger. It was already a decent gun, so this could make it a little bit more into like the viable, but like or into the competitive, highly competitive range, but maybe not necessarily meta. SVA 545 looks like this got nerfed. Yep, it got nerfed. So I don't think people are going to be using this as much anymore. MCW mid damage, so the far range damage was increased by 20%, up to 22. This was already a pretty decent gun. This might put it up to pretty competitive. Well, let's see, MTZ 556. Max damage range increase to 40. Oh shoot, 40 meters up from 35. That means you can hit at max damage up close up to 40 meters. That's like actually like kind of a big jump, right? That can make a huge difference. And then near mid damage range increase up to 50 meters. Headshot modifier up 1.25 from up 0.2. Okay. That's a pretty good buff for the 5 MTZ. I don't know if this will make, I mean, right now it's like viable. So this will probably bump it into the competitive range, I'm thinking. But I don't know if it'll be meta. Let's see. Cast off 762 from Modern Warfare 2. They bumped the range. I don't think anyone was even using this. So bumping this up, I don't know if it'll make any difference, honestly. But maybe it might throw it into a viable range. Chimera got buffed as well, but no one was using it, so maybe this will actually people start using it. Hemlock, hey, I love this gun from MW2. Mid-range damage increased, okay, not by a lot, just by 1 point each. And then the arm modifier, okay, ooh. This could be interesting. I don't know if this will make the gun viable or competitive, but I don't think I mean, it's a good bump, but I mean, the main thing with MW2 guns was just the visual recoil. Those are the worst things about it. So unless they fix that, all these damage modifiers don't really make a whole lot of sense. But maybe this might push some MW2 guns into the range. I don't know, but this looks interesting. We'll see what happens. I'm basically waiting for like TGD or True Game Data and like JGOT2. AMR 9. Okay, here we go. Increase. Oh man, they buffed the AMR 9 again. So they nerfed it and then they buffed it again. So are we getting AMR 9 back again? I mean, because these are pretty significant increases, to be honest. So, like, looks like AMR 9 looks pretty good. FJX Horus, like, okay, they buffed this as well. Or it's a good balancing, you know, because they did headshot modifier. Modifiers were decreased, but then other modifiers were increased. They increased the overall damage. And yeah, so it looks like they buffed the Horus pretty well. So this could be interesting. The Rival 9, they buffed it a little bit. Just a little bit on the velocity, but not a whole lot. Striker, they nerfed a little bit. So I don't think Striker will be meta anymore. At least that doesn't look like it. The WSP9 looks like they nerfed this sucker too. Yeah, they nerfed it a little bit. It may not be as meta anymore. So between the Striker and the WSP, looks like they nerfed both of these. All right, LMGs up. First one, DG58 headshot modifier down to 1.2 from 1.4. Decreased bullet velocity. Okay. It's a slight nerf, but not a huge nerf. It still does the same damage, like at the base level. So it's a slight nerf so that the headshot modifiers aren't too crazy, and the velocity is not. So it shoots a little slower, or the bullet travels slower, and you don't get as much damage at the head. So it's kind of like a fair balancing, I guess. So we'll see if this stays meta. Holger 26, the LMG looks like headshot modifier increase. They buffed one thing about it. Sniper rifles, neck modifier. Wow. Looks like so. Anything from the neck down is not going to be as powerful anymore. So this, I think this is probably, they did this to probably make way for the Car 98. I'm guessing. All right. Warzone rank play. While our teams are targeting to release rank play battle royale before the end of the year, we are not ready to commit to a specific timing just yet. Okay. Basically, they want to release a ranked mode for normal BR, but just don't know when. Which I feel like it just means like it's gonna come later, like Q4. At this point, like I think Black Ops 6 is gonna release before this sucker even gets, before this comes out. So I don't know what the heck they're thinking. Okay, so there's no more resurgence stuff and rewards, or like the ranked for resurgence, whatever. Adjustments to resurgence. Okay, teams that place first in a match will now receive 125 SR, up from 100. Okay, iridescent deployment fees. Okay, me, because I'm gonna reach that point ever. Okay, so UI and user experience update. Match stats, quality of life. The new statistics panel for multiplayer has been adapted to Warzone, allowing players to consult their match and weapon statistics during a match. Also available after the AAR. Okay, that's kind of cool. Third-person parachute added a new setting that allows players to see their operator parachuter from a third-person perspective. Oh, that's different from the look-around thing. Okay. Squad widgets. Quality of life. Icons for armor plates and gas mask. Kill streaks will now appear under squad member health bars. Oh! To indicate when they currently have... Okay, finally, they added... Okay, they had this in Warzone 1, and it was nice. Like a good quality of life, like UI update. And they finally added this stuff. So now you know... Well, they don't tell you how many armor plates, but you know if someone has armor plates, I guess. They should just put a number in there. They have a gas mask and what kill streaks they have. Okay, so that's kind of cool. The contract timer widget will now display a visual timer bar indicating the remaining time. Okay, so instead of just a counter, you have like a little progress bar. Okay, these are nice quality of life changes. I like them. Yeah, they're good. They should have had them way before, but you know it probably got deprioritized. Crazy. Okay, crap ton of some bug fix. And that's it. All right, so this is a long video, and with a coughing fit too. So pretty decent updates. I don't think that there's enough updates here to honestly bring back a ton of people. Like you'll get the initial surge of people playing the first day just because of, you know, general interest. But I don't know if this will bring back a lot of people. Honestly, I think the only thing that will bring back people are two things. One, you implement. I mean, I hate to say it, like everyone, it's like I feel like it's a broken record. Implement Verdansk. You know, I don't know why they only put that on Warzone Mobile. No one plays that freaking game. Or at least doesn't seem like it. Anyone really gives a crap about that game. Or two, you finally make address the SBMM crap. You know, just say like, hey, we're removing it, or we're dialing it down from 11 to 1 or something like that. And so that way you guys get more like interesting maps or interesting variety of players instead of playing against people who just, you know, why cancel and all that craziness. I feel like those are the only ways to really get people back. Or maybe, you know, other people are saying it's just like, oh, you know, the reason it was just so popular because of COVID, right? So anyways, I don't know if this will save Warzone. Probably not, honestly. They need to kind of do an overhaul of a lot of things. They're not doing it quickly enough. But anyways, that's it for me today. Let me know what your thoughts on season 4 so far. If you'll be playing, I'll be playing a little bit. I don't know if I'll stream it, but I'll be playing it. So maybe I'll see you guys up there. All right, take it easy.